have ever been invited to a formal sit-down dinner in someone's home. Welcome to Valentina Design Universe. I am Valentina Cirasola, your host. Today's show, it's about part 2 of manners, rules of conduct, practically. And it is a reenactment of a dinner I was invited to where the guests were professional people acting very unprofessional and very unpolite. So the dinner was basically, this is the story. One of my friends invited me and 4 other people to this dinner, formal dinner, that she had won at a charity event. We, all of us, did not know each other, and we did not know the owner of the house, the host. We only knew that one person who brought us there. Well, we met, and the conversation started really softly and really nice. The owner, the woman of the house, was dressed in a very nice evening dress and was in the kitchen cooking. They were not part of the dinner. Her husband was in a dark suit with a white napkins over his left arm, serving us. So I said during the appetizer time, the conversation was slow and soft. It was very, very nice. But when we got to sit down, the dinner turned into something I never expected. It was kind of a comedy to me to see how professional people with imagined degrees had acted that night in an unacceptable way. So, now, let's see what happens in this dinner. Now, mind you, the actresses here are fine people, and they will never do anything in the real life. They're just reenacting what happened in that dinner that night. Let's watch.
Invited.
I am too. I was just totally shocked. Look at these plates. Aren't they beautiful?
Oh, they're beautiful.
What do you think?
Chinese make good things.
Oh, Chinese. Oh my gosh, they're designer plates.
Italian plates.
Wow.
That is the best.
That's pretty
These
incredible.
are the finest. Oh my, yeah, made in Italy.
They're beautiful.
Well, look at the flatware too.
Wow, they must be rich. What do you think?
Oh, they gotta be
look
rich.
Look at that. Oh my, I think this is ivory.
Wow.
Not sure.
But I don't know about these glasses. I mean, how many glasses of wine you have to drink to get drunk with these little tiny things?
I think these are from the 1930s. Do you watch Downton Abbey, that show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw those on that show, and you know how fancy that is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they are just incredible. They're really taking really good care of us here. Did you see this
Look
food?
at the crystal.
Oh,
wow.
Just absolutely gorgeous. But, I've had such a long day today.
Are you taking off your shoes?
Well, you know, I just want to be comfortable.
No way.
Yeah, it's just been a really hard day. But the other thing too is, oh my gosh, I don't know about you, but this thing is killing me. I'm just gonna.
Are you unbuckling your bra?
I am.
At the table?
Well, you know, might as well be. We're gonna be here for a long time. They said 7 courses.
Yeah, 7 courses. So, tell me what you do when you're in a restaurant.
Well, you know,
You've got both your shoes off.
Well, girls got to do what a girl's got to do, I guess.
So what do you do when you're in a restaurant and you're hot?
Just get comfortable.
You take your bra off in a restaurant
Well,
too?
I didn't take it off. I just loosened
you
it up.
loosened it up?
Yes, it's just, we might as well. Look at
Cheers,
how beautiful.
honey.
Oh, cheers. Do you think this is real crystal?
If this is real antique glassware, that's real crystal.
Wow.
Real everything. This is the real deal.
I don't think I've ever been to anything like this. It's just, it's just
What
great.
is
So that
this?
time, is
What is this?
What is
palate cleanser.
This is ice cream in the middle of the dinner?
No.
Wait, we haven't had 7 courses yet.
No, this
Sorry.
is a palate cleanser. What it does is it just helps remove the residue off of your tongue. See, look. It just gets that off
Gross.
of there. and that way your mouth is ready for the next course. So it's very, very refreshing. And they do that only at the highest end. 5-star restaurants, everything. That's how they do it.
So these courses are amazing.
I know, it's just crazy, but well,
one
excuse
of
my
these.
fingers, but I know there's a fork, but I don't really want to use that. But yeah, this is wow. I'm so glad that I was invited to this.
Me too, but you know what? I am just stuffed. I can't eat another thing, but I don't want to leave any of this because this is so delicious. I'm going to take everything in a doggy bag.
Doggy bag, that's a great idea. You know what? I have a dinner party tomorrow night that I'm hosting. What do you think if I serve this?
Well, you can't get any finer food than this. I think they'd love it. And you know what? I'll give you my doggy bag.
You're so awesome. I'm so glad I met you. Oh my goodness.
And this is what happened on that dinner. We have just seen it. People acting very uncivilized. In fact, there was a woman with long hair that picked her hair up and pinned it with a big pin, and she looked just like she had come out of the shower. So I was at one point in the dinner, I did not know if I wanted to laugh, if I wanted to cry, if I wanted to leave. Definitely I wanted to leave. But I couldn't because it didn't feel like a good thing to do. But I had to sit there for a couple of hours and listen to these people who had no kind of conversation, absolutely no interest in anything that happens in the world. It was just, I'm hot here, I want to take shoes there, and I want to take a bra off. It's just like all of these things that I was not expected. I don't know if you ever seen the movie with Peter Sellers called The Party. I thought I was in that movie, in that film. It was just incredibly strange. Anyway, and I did not know what to do, and the doggy bag really, really did it. So I know the women who have been acting don't do these things, because I've been at dinners with them, obviously. They are fine people. But it is rehearsing this dinner has been quite different, because if you're not used to do these things, we have to make it believe it was true, but it was. I was there. So I just sat through this dinner for 2 hours thinking maybe this will be a good subject for my next blog. And I did. I wrote a blog. And now I'm writing this, I'm producing this show. It's all about manners. Last show, I talked about general manners. Now it's about table manners. You know, the holidays are coming, and some of you might find themselves in this situation of going to someone's formal dinner. And it would be nice to know certain things. For instance, how many forks and how many spoons and table flatware you must use? Do you know all the sequence of all of it is served? Generally, the sequence goes into the sequence of the food. However, as the food progresses, that's how you use the silverware. So if you don't know that, there are 2 things you can do. Google, because Google knows everything, and they will tell you. Or watch another movie, Pretty Woman, and there is described that you go from outside in in using the silverware. Now, last time I talked about the asparagus tongue. That's a different thing. It could happen that you have a particular item on the table. So it might happen that you find something of that sort. The best thing is, before you go to a dinner, study. I mean, a dinner, not any dinner, a formal dinner. Study the progression of the silverware, the flatware, and that's a good way to not to make fun of yourself, or just watch what other people do in the dinner. Before you pick up your food, watch other people and see what they do and copy them. But out of this particular dinner that we just reenact, there was a lesson to learn. Okay, so when the host invites someone, in this case, nobody knew each other, it's the duty of the host to send an email to everyone in the dinner party, and with just one simple email, blind copy everyone, because these are still stranger people and you don't want their email to be shown. So blind copy everyone and tell, with just one email, introduce all the guests and say, so-and-so is, and he does, and just introduce briefly. Long time ago, it was the bon ton, the rules of conduct, says that you had to send the invitation, and in the invitation you were supposed to explain who was there, so to get to know them before you go. But now that's not the case anymore. People don't have time to write this kind of notes, so they just send emails and said there will be Violet and Rose, and Violet is a chef, and Rose is blah blah blah, and everyone knows before going to the dinner who to talk to and who the people are. Then there is something else. If you are going somewhere, if you're not the host and you're going somewhere with people that you do not know, ask. Someone in the party must know some of these people. Ask that person, who are they? That way you're not stuck with people that might not be a good fit for you. And if it isn't, don't go to the dinner, because truly the dinner I went to was more painful than fun. To see all that they did, eating with their hands, ask for a doggy bag, it's just like, it's not done. It's not polite. It's not cute, and has nothing to do with having manners. Nothing at all. So might as well those people have been in the cafeteria, would have been just the same. So now, next thing is, when you have a formal dinner, you have to keep in mind that we were served in this dinner, we were served 7 courses. Now, mind you, they were very small portions, yes, but they counted 7, everything that came out. So the rule is that you're not supposed to serve more than 4 courses, 4, and no more than 1,500 calories from the beginning to end, because that's what people can take. They might feel they go home without being full, but the idea of a formal dinner is not to go home and stuff your face. It's just to have a nice dinner with someone that you might have not known before, okay? So to get to know people as well is part of the socialization. So we say 1,500 calories, but we can go a little more because of the drinks, the wines, and this and that. But it's okay if you go up to 2,000 and no more. Now, the wine we were served were different wines for different foods. So the wines changed with every food that was served. Nowadays, that used to be a custom up to a few years ago, but nowadays you don't have to. Choose 1 red wine for the meats and 1 white wine for the fish. Or, even better, find a wine that is interchangeable. It can go with both fish, meat, vegetables. And that way you go just with one wine the whole evening. Or just a red for the meat and a white. Only one for the fish. Okay? The other thing is that you've seen Violet being hot. Well, women sometimes have their own summer, no matter what we do. That's the way it is. And men get hot as well. So one thing is, you have to keep in mind that in the dinner, there is wines, warm food, and you generally sit between two people on each side. So the vicinity of two people and the wines of food and this and that will increase or raise your body temperature. Okay? So if you are the host, make sure that the window in the dining room is a little bit open to exchange fresh air every so often. If you have two windows, even better. So keep one open and one closed, but there has to be a little bit of air changing or exchanging in the room. And if it's winter, maybe you want to keep the heater down, and that way it's not affecting people too much. Or just keep the air conditioning at a low temperature, just to make the room for the guest very comfortable. Now remember, these are people that don't live in your home, so they want to be proper, and they don't want to be taking the shoes off like Lena did. There was another woman who raised her hair and clipped it. You know, as I said, she was sweating and she looked like she came out of the shower. You don't want to do that. You want to make your guest as comfortable as possible. So then, the next thing is conversation. Conversation. The guest supposed to know, the host of this dinner supposed to know all his or her guest. So one thing not good to do is talk about politics, religion, and finance. But if you know your guest, you're supposed to be able to talk about current events, or if you go to the opera, talk about the opera. If you go to a sports event, talk about their sports, or get interested in what they do and how they evolved in their life. What's new? What's their news? Or you can just talk about the last travel you had, the book you read, and exchange these cultural information, because they're neutral. And if they are the people you think they are, they should be able to converse in a nice way. So what I experienced that evening or that dinner was a shallow conversation, nothing important, nothing really interested. It was bored. I was bored. It was boring. I could not wait to leave. And the doggy bag things, the host of the house did not have doggy bag because it's not a restaurant, right? So she had to give her own Tupperware away to put the food that they asked. And that's not really, really good to do. So a dinner, a formal sit-down dinner, is that one moment in your day that you're going to sit with other people because you want to know them. You want to be close to them. Remember that breaking bread with other people is an honor. So if you invite someone to your home, It is because you want to have the pleasure to be with them. So make sure they're comfortable. And anytime people are under your roof, make them comfortable. Make them feel like they're special. And the best thing you can do afterwards, if you are a guest, is to send the card to the host and tell them how good it was, how much you enjoyed it, and all of that. And if you bring a guest, if you bring the owner a bottle of wine, you might want to tell them, you might not want to tell them this is for tonight dinner because you don't know what it has been prepared, okay? So just say this is for you, and if they use it, fine. If they don't, they will use it some other thing, some other time. Bringing a gift is always a good idea. And leaving with without the doggy bag is the best idea. So please don't do that. This was just a comedy. I've experienced it and it was fine. So this is why I'm here, telling the do's and the don'ts of a formal sit-down dinner. People have parties all the time. They can sit where they want easily, and that's not what we're here for, okay? We're here to teach, basically, manners that have gone out of fashion. And I would like to see them brought back because it's very nice. And it makes you feel special if you know all of these things, I think. So I think my show is going to end in a few minutes. And until the next time, remember the holidays are coming very soon. And act accordingly, like be special, be elegant. Not just dress elegant, but be elegant in your manners. It makes such a good difference. So for right now, I want to thank the actresses who've been such a great sport, the crew that have been here helping with the show, and mwah, a big kiss, peace, love to everyone. Until the next time.